Greetings, good evening, happy Friday. I hope all is well. I'm just going to jump right into it. So, if you want to watch the replay, you can watch it on my Instagram live, or you can look at it on my what is that shit? Oh yeah, you can look on my YouTube channel. See, my memory is gone. It's been a long week. I've been busy. I had class. I had a paper to write. I had what else I had? I had so much shit to do. So I had a lot of shit to do. I had a lot of coursework. I had a whole ass report that was due in a week. I have another a data visualization. There we go. Report due on the 11th. So I have like so much motherfucking shit to do. Like it's insane. I got a lot of shit going on. But anywho, it was not a jam-packed news time. Oh, I meant to put this thing on my list and I can't even find my pens right now. Oh gosh, I told you it's been one hell of a week, but I'm just gonna get right into these COVID numbers because I'm scared as shit. And I'm pretty sure everybody else is scared because I'm scared. Delta's here. It has reached the United States. I knew it was gonna happen. I'm not shocked. But I knew this shit was gonna happen. What's poppin', Enrique? But I knew this shit was gonna happen. So here we are. According to the Johns Hopkins website, 197.3 million cases of COVID. So the exact number is 197,309,601 cases of COVID worldwide. Global death toll is 4.2 million. So the exact is 4,207,721. U.S. confirmed cases is 34.9. So it's 34,945,224. And the U.S. death toll is 613,012. Delta variant and others said to work, Ohio, you didn't take my first version seriously. I'm going to get you. Indeed. Nobody listens. Like, this Delta variant is so crazy. Like, I am nervous. But I am thankful. I'm very thankful that I have the vaccination. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a third, what is it? A third of booster shot. And if it is, sign me up. If it's Moderna or Pfizer. Even though I took Moderna. But I don't know how it's going to affect a Pfizer. But I think that's the same thing. Not me getting my Pfizer and possibly taking out my Delta. I am a nursing school and I will go back to clinical. Yeah, I'm shook. We all shook. I'm shook in this bitch. So in terms of vaccine doses administered, as of yesterday, the vaccines that were administered, the vaccine doses that were administered in this country is 710,071. So the number of vaccines administered as of yesterday on a whole, which is 50% of the U.S. population, is 710,071. So that totals 163.9 million, almost 164 million people in this country is already vaccinated. And 50%, that's 50% of the country. Even though that number is okay, even though we're supposed to get to 70%, but I don't think 70% of herd immunity ain't enough. At least I could say if it's 85 or 90, I'll be content with 85, even though I prefer 90. But I'll be content with 85 or 70. I'm scared as shit. I'm shook as a motherfucker. And let's see. In terms of understanding the data visualization. Oh my God. I keep messing up that word and I know that word and that word's been used in my class like 10,000 times. It's been used in my fucking class. So the data visualization chart is I meant to wave to everybody, but hello, I was trying to get into this because I was not trying to waste no time. I wrote a whole list of what I want to talk about. So according to this data visualization chart, well, I'll go on Queen Lion. All right. So the U.S. average, who has the highest people vaccinated in their state? I can't even say a state yet because it needs to be a state. Is the District of Columbia, which is um, Washington D.C. at 69.37%. Then is Vermont. Then is Rhode Island. Then is Massachusetts. Then is Maine, Connecticut, Hawaii, New Jersey, Washington State, Maryland, New Hampshire, Oregon, New Mexico, New York, Colorado, Virginia, Minnesota, California, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Illinois. Now Florida, it's up there, but it still is not as high. I don't know when DC is becoming a state because the way the Senate is acting right now, because I'm going to get into them in a few, that fucking filibuster. Well, in terms of my home state, New York State, in terms of people vaccinated, we are at how much? There's 9.4 million people in the state has been vaccinated. In terms of confirmed cases as of now, oh no, that's Colorado. Excuse me, sorry, that was the wrong state. That's Colorado. Mm-mm. There we go. So my state got 2.1 million cases of COVID. I mean, we had the highest from last year. In terms of tested people, we have 61 million 28,940. So we administered a lot of tests in this state. In terms of doses being administered, over 22,902,222 people have been vaccinated, and fully vaccinated in the state is 11,091,103. In terms of that's 56.7 of the population. Well, 56.7% of the population. So we're almost at 70%, but like I said, I'll be content with 85, but I really like 90%. That's a good number of mine. Now, for the city of New York. The city of New York has administered tests, the first dose of the vaccine, 59.5%, and fully vaccinated people amount to 54.6% in the city. But still, 40.5% of people are not vaccinated. Now, in terms of boroughs, y'all call them counties, we call them boroughs. The Bronx has the least vaccinated and in the city, so they only administered 759 doses of COVID-19 vaccine, of the vaccine, and that's 50%, and only 45% are fully vaccinated. In Brooklyn, it's 2.5% of 2.5 million people in the borough. Only 52% received the first dose, while 48% are fully vaccinated. Then when you get to my borough, Manhattan, we have 1.6 million people. 72% received their first dose, while 66% is fully vaxxed. Queens has the second highest vaccinated people. 66% of the people received their first dose because it's 2.2 million people, while 60% are fully vaccinated. And then Staten Island, 55% received their first dose, while 51% is fully vaccinated. Now, when you break this down into like age groups, as they broke it down extensively, like the data visualization here is just wild. So in terms of people that are fully vaccinated, people from 65 to 74, 82% received their first dose, while 78% are fully vaxxed. Then you got people 75 to 84. 74% are fully are vax or have received their first dose, while 70% are fully vaxxed. And then 45 to 54, 75% received their first dose, while 70% is vaxxed. Then my age group, 35 to 44, 71% received their first dose, while 66% are fully vaccinated. Then when you get to younger age, 35 to 34, 62% received their first dose, while 57% are fully vaccinated. And then 18 to 24, 60% received their first dose, while 53% received are fully vaxxed. And then when you get to race, I'm sorry to prolong because this is how it was broken up. People that are AAPI community are the most fully vaxxed in the city. 75% received their first dose, while 71% are fully vaxxed. And then you have Native American, Alaska Native, 74% receive their first dose, while 67% is fully vaxxed. Then white people, 48% receive their first dose, while 46% are fully vaxxed. Latino community, 47% receive their first dose, while 42% are fully vaxxed. And then, of course, the black community. 34% receive their first dose, while 31% are fully vaxxed. And women are more vaccinated than men. And you realize it's mostly black people that live in the outer boroughs like the Bronx and Brooklyn, which is the most populated, or not fully vaccinated. So in the Bronx, 18 to 24, you have, 29% in the Bronx and 30% in Brooklyn. And 28% in Queens. That's bad. So I understand there's the Tuskegee situation. And then it was the sterilization of women back in the late 60s, early 70s. I understand the mistrust. But if somebody of color who created this vaccine, a black woman at that, created this vaccine and been working on it for 10 years, and it got kicked into gear, I think you want to take the vaccine, especially when we were the community that were mostly infected by this vaccine, died from this vaccine, continuously dying from this vaccine. I think you want to listen to the black woman who created this vaccine. I ain't gonna lie. I was skeptical at first because of the Johnson & Johnson release in the black community up here in Harlem. Up in Harlem and other black areas, but the good vaccines are in the white areas. That's why I was like, But then when the president put it all in all hospitals, made it free, and then when you heard the person that's behind it, who said how long she worked on it and how effective it was, and 90-something% of us took it, it was just like, I'm going to take this. My mother got convinced because she saw the person who was behind it, and she saw the town hall on Lawrence O'Donnell's show, and then she's been watching the news. My father was going to take it. He just didn't want to take Johnson & Johnson. And my sister got convinced because of black people taking it and because I took it. So that's how my sister was convinced. But other than that, I'm just going to say this. Please get vaccinated. It's the only way we're going to get out of this virus. And still continue to wear your mask, because Delta variant is more of a respiratory effect than the UK strand, the Brazilian strand, and even the New York strand. It's just as bad. And people that are unvaccinated is dying from it. And of course, it's spreading it to the people that are vaccinated because they don't want to get vaccinated. So therefore, please get vaccinated. Please trust the scientists on this one. Listen to Dr. Kizzy. Look her up. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook. And I believe she's on Twitter. She created this vaccine. She created Moderna, and she's behind the Pfizer. That's her stuff. Moderna is 95% effective, and Pfizer is 96% effective. Even though you still got a 5 or 4% chance getting COVID, but you won't get it as bad as people that are not vaccinated. So to avoid getting COVID, of course, get vaccinated and still wear a goddamn mask. I wear 2 masks. And it be 90 degree, 100 degree weather here in New York, but I still wear 2 masks because I live in a city that's 8.3, 8.4 million people. I am not just going to walk around without no mask on. Hell no. Hell to the no. Even if you live like in a southern area, you shouldn't even, and definitely down there, you should not even walk around with your goddamn, without your mask on, because in the South, their vaccination rates are below average. You should be having your mask on all day, every day. I don't care how much space it is. You should still wear your mask. Plain and simple, because it's here. The Delta strand is here. COVID, I said this before, COVID is not going away no time soon. It's here, and it's among us, and that's just here. The only way we can stop this is to get vaccinated and still wear our mask and bend the damn curve. I mean, I can't say this no longer. Like, taking herbs and having these teas is not going to save you from catching COVID, especially this Delta variant, because you will die. You will get sick and probably eventually die. And I don't want to say this, but like, this is more of a respiratory issue. Like, especially if you have asthma or like you have like an immunocompromised disease, you're going to catch that. So please get vaccinated, wear your mask, stay safe, and continue to goddamn social distance. Is no more than I can say. Now, everybody want me to talk about Kristen Sinema, about this whole infrastructure thing, and but yada yada. Like I said, I am no fan of Kristen Leah Sinema. I don't think I ever was. I thought she was always kind of like weird to me and boring, even though she was definitely better than McSally. However, and I don't want to sound like I'm defending her, I can say with all her bull crap and all her antics, at least, she got 17 Republicans on her infrastructure bill. Yes, the price may have been cut down because I don't know for what reason, why she's being a fiscal Democrat all of a sudden. Like, girl, good night. But she got 17 Republicans to co-sign to her bill. And at this point, the Senate is split. And we need all votes on deck to get our infrastructure bill passed. So we can get Voting Rights Act passed. So we can get, that includes For the People Act and the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act passed. There's no more than I can say. This is exactly why legislative seats matter. Everybody thought the presidency was going to overrule and do everything. No, that's never the case. If you paid attention to history, you will know there's something called checks and balances. The executive branch is the last damn branch to do anything. It's really up to our legislative body to make and pass our laws. The only thing the executive branch do is sign it and enforce it. And if there's a problem of the executive branch or anybody breaking the law, that's where the judicial branch come in to examine it and to put a check on that ass. So if you don't understand how our American civics works, then you really haven't paid attention in history class. In junior high or high school, even elementary school. You even have not even watched, Schoolhouse of Rock. So if you really don't understand American civics, I suggest that you watch Schoolhouse of Rock to understand how shit goes. So getting back to Miss Sinema, we're going to need her vote on stuff. And she is still there to 2024. Believe it or not. Her ass is still there. Unless she does something crazy, that's where she gets impeached. But she's there. And that's just that. Only thing, I'm still that goddamn filibuster. And trust me, her and Joe Manchin are not the only ones. There's more people that oppose that filibuster. And for some reason, I don't think they understand the history of the filibuster, or they just don't want to get rid of that shit because they probably feel like, oh, it's going to make us lose seats. Are y'all scared of white moderates? Are y'all that goddamn scared? Shit. Craziness. I'm just a bill. Just a bill. An ordinary bill. I like that song. Hello. How you do? But getting off the Senate because they get on my nerves. This Ohio election. Whoo. Y'all thought the New York mayoral election was tough? I knew this shit was going to be messy. See, I was not too worried about the New York mayoral election because I know Andrew Yang wasn't going to get it. I knew Scott Stringer was not even going to get that far. And some of these other ones. I knew it was going to be between Adams and Wiley, but I'm surprised that What's-Her-Face got into it. Thank you, Enrique. But I don't know how this gonna go. And its winner is either Nina Turner or Chantay Brown. It's anybody's court. Oh wow. That's crazy. Oh yeah, Catherine Garcia. Like I said, I'm not worried about I wasn't worried about the New York mayoral race because I knew Adams was going to get it. And he's acting more of a mayor, and they're not even having the general debates more than the current mayor. That's crazy. The only thing the current mayor is doing right now is telling people to go get vaccinated. Like the city workers. I mean, they should have been vaccinated. They were essential workers. Like, what the hell was you thinking? But, yeah. Eric Adams is acting more of a mayor than freaking Bill de Blasio. Like, that's insane. I don't even live in the city, but I love to keep up with the race. Yeah, the race was crazy. And not just that race. We had a DA's race, which we had the first black DA in Manhattan. That's ridiculous in 2021. I'm not sure about the ball president races, and I think we have a progressive controller. So sick of that shit. And something else. Honestly, I think if Nina Turner is not going to be too much of a big deal, she still won't change my point of view. Yeah, of course. The comments on YouTube on the higher races, the same tactics of the progressive instigating. Of course. And that's another thing. I'm going to address this. These progressives are reaching. They're clutching their pearls. They're coming up with every story saying Chantay Brown is under ethics pro investigation. The last time I checked, she wasn't. The black clergy came out nearly 2 weeks ago and debunked that shit all the way down. So I'm not understanding why these progressives are pearl clutching. I mean, y'all looking sad and bad out here. It's the desperation. The desperation, honey. The desperation is insane. But I'm going to get into more of their asses later. But tomorrow is the final stretch because the race is on the 3rd. So, of course, I'm going to get into that too. So, for Turner, you have, of course, Grandpa Magic, Bernie Sanders from South Brooklyn, Cori Bush, and Keith Ellison, and much more of them folk. And then for Brown, Chantay, you have the grandfather of politics and of endorsements, Representative Jim Clyburn, the number 3 Democrat in the House of Representatives, the highest ranking black man. Joyce Beatty, the chairwoman of the Congressional Black Caucus, Gregory Meeks from New York, the congressman out in Brooklyn, and many more. So, therefore, It's going to be intense, and it's going to be a final push. But I donated to Miss Brown, so this race might be evenly split. That's if people go out and vote. But at the end of it all, it's a possibility it might be Chantay Brown, because if older black people go out and vote, you know what that means. I always trust the old folks. That was like in New York. Older black people went for Eric Adams. And older black people are going to possibly go for Chantay. Because I don't see Nina around a lot of older black folks. And then it's Alexandra and Bernie for her. So you know how that's going to go. And you know they rejected his ass. So Chantay got Jim Clyburn under her belt. So you know what that means. But I am not going to say she's going to win, because it's anybody's game at this point of time. Literally. So, well, that's what it is. Like I said, I don't live in Ohio. I don't know. It depends on who they represent them. But like I said, it's about the people at the end of the day out there who gonna vote. So these damn progressives, they all in my goddamn mentions. And before I get into that, I do need to make this final statement again. And I'm gonna say it again. Nina Hudson Turner is not to be trusted. I don't think how many times I'm going to have to say that she's not to be trusted. One, she pooped on the Democratic Party for the last 6 years. She did not support Hillary Clinton. Back in 2016, she supported Joe Stein, the Green Party candidate. And that's how we got Trump. 4 years later, she does the same crap again with Bernie Sanders, spewing the same rhetoric. And once Bernie Sanders lost again, and lost horribly and miserably to Joe Biden, she decided not to support Joe Biden as the nominee and discredit the pick of Kamala Harris being the vice presidential pick, saying she is what Wall Street wanted. And of course, what she said about Joe Biden, I can never forget this. Supporting him, or no, voting for him is like eating a half bowl of sugar honey iced tea. So, therefore, Mrs. Nina Hudson Turner is not to be trusted. So, for those who got a problem with what I said, you can kiss my behind. Jamal was won because they lied, of course, and there was not that much turnout up there. They also used JD money, and Jamal Bowen, basically, there was not a lot of turnout uptown, and there was not a lot of turnout in Yonkers. That's how he won his seat. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, Adriano Espaillat won his seat handily. He won his seat by 95% of the vote. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. And people try to unseat him. Now, these progressives, starting with our revolution. Ooh, child. I promise I won't be here that long, because I'm not. But the nerve of them trying to rebrand themselves as, what is it? They're trying to rebrand themselves as, what's that thing? Pragmatic progressives. The reason why these knuckleheads at our revolution is rebranding themselves is because they realized for the last two major elections, they could not win over the votes of pragmatic Democratic voters, aka black people. And that's real. Black folks didn't care for Bernie. They saw him as an opportunist. They kind of even almost see him as a racist. I mean, you're from Brooklyn, and you telling me you left the most diverse borough in the city to go to a lily white state? That says something about your character. And then you market yourself. You campaign as this person who marched with Martin Luther King. And the guy who was side by side with Martin Luther King back in the 1960s said he never saw your ass. I believe the guy that marched with Martin Luther King, that was side by side next to him, didn't see your ass. And y'all wishing shit on him, but then y'all want to revamp yourself as pragmatic progressives. Child, please. They don't even understand the word, what progressive means. It means liberal, gradual change. Y'all want everything like Hot Pockets in the microwave. That's not how progress works. Overthrowing a party is not what progress works. That's why the Republican Party is a whole ass mess. That's why they're going through some things. But the Democrat Party, the reason why we're not going for that shit, because you got the older black folks letting y'all asses know y'all not getting away with shit. And the Congressional Black Caucus, even side-eye Bernie was like, you can't be the leader of our party and don't want to change your party affirmation. That's not how that works. And they're absolutely correct. That's not how that works. So, to our revolution. Good luck with rebranding, because it's not going to work. You guys will never get the older black folks or even the middle-aged black folks and even the young black vote like me. Because why? Because we see your bullshit. We see through you and we know you are frauds out here. So stop pretending to be our ally, because you're not. Because you really think we're neoliberal corporate shills. That's the new N-word. So you think us as low class, and guess what? We think y'all some fraud ass motherfuckers. So that's what y'all are. So good luck with that. So, yes, I said Hot Pockets because they always want something fast, like a goddamn Hot Pocket. What's poppin', Kay? So, I've been dealing with some vitriol on this Bird app. So, this Ohio Dems, this Warren Ohio Dems, I don't understand. How can you be a Warren supporter and be all for Nina Turner when Nina Turner trashed Elizabeth Warren and saying that she's trying to be a copy of Bernie Sanders, like as he accomplished anything? Elizabeth Warren even accomplished more than he did. But anyhow, I tweeted this because this person said this. Unfortunately, it isn't true. They are deeply involved in everything that does not have nothing to do with the vice president. Ohio 11 has nothing to do with the vice president. K-Hive have a few bad apples, but it's cheering up. They cheer up by the following. And here is this. The harassment of campaign staffers has gone too far. People have harassed in real life outside of Twitter. Not every person who associates with the K5 does this, but they certainly condone it and they don't condemn it. They actually do. They turn into what they think the Bernie Bros are. What the Bernie Bros do, attack people. They even go on people's Instagrams like they went on mine's. And on your YouTube page. And even follow you on Twitter like Bridget Fonda and Single White Female. Their political ideology isn't prop up Kamala Harris. It's I hate Bernie and Elizabeth Warren. A real low point is how they've defended Chantay Brown's transphobia simply because they dislike Nina. Disliking Bernie is more important to them than the views of the transgender community. First of all, in the K-Hive, there are people, and I think I need to say this. The K-Hive is a coalition. It's a diverse coalition of people of different cultural backgrounds, different genders, and different communities. There are people that are men and women, black, white, red, green, yellow, LGBTQ plus, and young and old. And there are mostly a lot of LGBTQ plus people in the K Hive. It's a lot of them. There's even some that are transgender. So the fact is that the K Hive defends transphobia is such blasphemy. But this is who these rose Twitter, teeth, blood people, this is who they are. And that is exactly why I will always side-eye these so-called online leftists that want to be allies to black people. Because to tell you the truth, you're an ally to just lies. You're not an ally to black folks. Because if you were, you wouldn't be coming for yours truly. Then, so I said, if the K Hive have a few bad apples, defends transphobia and etc., where are the receipts? If you're going to post something, make sure you have supported documentation to back up your claims. So I guess, cannot make this up. And so this was said, saying he lived his life as a transgender woman denies trans women of womanhood. Supporting a transphobic candidate is transphobic. Okay. The Cleveland Stonewall Dems cited her for holding views that are harmful to the LGBTQIA plus community and have to put a trigger warning on the forum on YouTube. Also, the original point was K-Hive only existed to combat information about the vice president. Meanwhile, they interject themselves into the Ohio election. The Ohio 11 election is pretty much a U.S. federal seat, so everybody actually has a say. To persist did not bring any claims because it's been a week later. And there were people that misspoke. Like I even one time misspoke about he lived his life as a woman. And for the last fucking time, Chantay has apologized for that shit. She apologized. But there was something that was said to persist. And I want to read it. And I want to read it real good because I'm going to get in persist ass because it's about that time. So this person who was part of the LGBTQIA plus community said, your disingenuous lies only puts trans lives at risk. You aren't concerned in the slightest about projections. Our community listens and accepts apologies when they happen. Shame on you. Does Elizabeth Warren know you're using the name while caping behind trans lives? Fact. Brown supports Biden and Harris, who support the Equality Act. That is very true because the vice president has a long-standing history with the LGBTQ community since she was the San Francisco DA, and the vice president was the first major politician at the time to support marriage equality. What you're doing is propagating outrage that is not yours to spread and actually disingenuous to our community. Disgusting. And it is disgusting. So he said, adequately making it up, sit down. I'm a trans queer. When I saw and heard from Brown was a sincere apology and promise to learn and do better, which is what we want as allies. Brown also supports Biden and Harris. So I thank that person for that, and I really do. And Chantay Brown did apologize. So persist. It's been a week. Where's the sources? Where's the documentation? of the K Hive defending transphobia, defending lies. Where is the documentation? Where's the proof? And proof doesn't mean tweets. Proof actually means substantial documentation. Oh, there is none. Why there's none? Because we all know you guys are some lying ass son of a boops. And you guys are. You guys are fraudulent as hell. So, to persist. Yes, I had to swing my ponytail. Persist. Where's the documentation that I asked for on July 23rd, 2021? Where is it? Where is it? Where's the documentation that the K-Hive defends transphobia? Where's the documentation that the K-Hive is toxic? Where's the documentation that the K-Hive just worships the vice president and not the policy? Where's the documentation that the K-Hive harassed staffers, Nina Turner staffers? Where is it? Oh, because it's nowhere. This is what happens when you project and not tell the truth. This is what happens when you guys are just full of caca. And that account using Ohio Warren Dems, you should be ashamed of yourself. If anything, you're taking Elizabeth Warren's name down by using that shit. If I was Elizabeth Warren or anything connected to Elizabeth Warren, any like staffer, I would try to get that account suspended because y'all using her name to attack other people. I don't even know y'all motherfuckers and y'all even came from my shit. I don't even know y'all. Y'all got like what, under 5,000 followers? Are you mad because I got more followers than y'all? It's not my fault that I got followers. I'm just my authentic self. Maybe you guys should be a little bit more pleasant and not attack people. And stop sitting on Nina's coochie. Because she don't even like y'all. I bet you by the time this election is over, she's not going to use y'all no more. Y'all going to be useless to her. So please, stop fawning over her. You guys are just pathetic as fuck. Just stop. Y'all look ridiculous. God, I'm so sick of it. Like, yo, like, no one knows them. Like, for them to, like, go on people's pages, like, no one knows y'all. Y'all, like, drag Chantay Brown. Chantay Brown not even worried about y'all. Because y'all lame out here. Y'all trying to get clicks and likes. And from y'all pages, y'all don't even got that much likes. Let's be real. Y'all content sucks. Like, that whole page, the content sucks. And y'all got the last little bit of the Warren supporters who are disgruntled or did not vote for the Democratic Party or mad because Elizabeth Warren was not picked as the vice president. They like to come after people. They all suck. They suck. They trying to get clicks and likes and nobody don't even like their shit. Nobody don't even follow them back because their content sucks. And those are the facts. But this whole thing of the right attacking me, because now I have the right attacking me because I said something about Meghan McCain. What did she do? Meghan McCain pretty much, blamed this administration for the vaccine rollout and, it's a mess and everything. First of all, the president was going by what the CDC said. The CDC is located in Atlanta and they're going by the science and the data. And they realized this Delta variant is the worst thing. What they did was pretty much followed what the science says. And now we got to wear masks again. We're in a motherfucking pandemic. What do you expect? We wasn't going to get out this shit in a whole year. Donald Trump didn't do shit really last year. Operation Warp Speed did not work for people. Operation Warp Speed only worked for those rich white people that donated to him. Even white people in the rural communities suffered. So what are you talking about, Megan? I'll be so glad when she get off the motherfucking show. But I know there's going to be somebody worse than her that actually voted for Trump. and is actually going to try to come for Joy and Sunny and even somewhat Whoopi, and it's going to be a bad day for them. But you know what? I'm ready for the theatrics. I'm waiting for that to happen. But back to Meghan Marguerite McCain and that no-neck husband of hers. Stop spreading misinformation about the vaccine. The vaccine actually works. Stop spreading misinformation about this administration not, getting people vaccinated. People don't want to get vaccinated because they're hearing all this disinformation on social media, because there is a disinformation campaign on social media and on Fox News, where your husband, Meghan McCain, works at. So stop spreading misinformation on ABC News. Cut the motherfucking bullshit. Nobody don't want to hear that shit. Even anywhere else you go, stop spreading misinformation. Stop retweeting misinformation. Just shut your goddamn mouth. Please and thank you. Like, come on. Like, she needs to shut the fuck up. And it's another thing. I want to address this real quickly. So y'all know yesterday, the following people... Oh, I don't have to use my iPad. I know. So the following people voted against the $2.1 billion security to fund more for the Capitol Police at the Capitol. So y'all know who these 6 people are. Y'all call them the Squad. So the ringleader, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of the New York 14th Congressional District, Jamal Bowen of the New York 16th Congressional District, Cori Bush, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, and Ilhan Omar. I'm not surprised. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised at all. And the reason I think they did this because it, funds the police more, and we want to defund the police. The Capitol Police is different from actual police departments, but okay. But these are the same ass people that went on TV, particularly MSNBC and CNN, cried to the anchors talking about, I had to move my office because one of the congresswomen harassed me after the insurrection. My staff had to hide in the office. They didn't have no food for hours. Or went on Instagram and said, I was like this. One said, I was crying and I had traumatic experiences. I was called these names and that names. But you voted against a bill that will actually protect you and your staffers. And the people that clean your offices and cook your food. Make that shit make sense. But then again, these are the people that we need more of in Congress. Not necessarily, no. And 2 of them from my city, but doesn't mean they represent me. Because, first of all, they're not even my congressmen or congresswomen. That's for starters. But we don't need more people like them. We need more people like Lauren Underwood, Sharice Davis, more Yvette Clarks, even more Adriano Espiots. We need more of them. Just a little younger version. And Richie Torres's. We need more of those kind of people than them knuckleheads. I mean, if you really want to get technical. So, I mean, what's the point of having them there and they make $174,000 a year? We basically paying their salary to do fucking shit like this. And for the last goddamn time, I'm gonna need for these knuckleheads to pass some bills. At least get 1 or 2 enacted. Because, like I said, y'all wasting people's money. We paying out $174,000 a year to vote no against bills that's substantial. Or regrettably voting for stuff and then get mad when you had to vote for it because your motherfucking constituents need it. If that's the case, leave. So we can stop paying y'all $174,000 just to tweet all motherfucking day, because you can't legislate on Twitter. So I'm going to say this again. There is no way in hell that you Get paid $174,000 to legislate on Twitter. That don't work that way. Legislating starts from the pen and paper and brainstorming with people across the aisle. That's how you get shit done. As bad we don't like the Party City wig lady in the Senate, she gets shit done. She passed the motherfucking bills. And that's what it is. But it's getting late. It's 12:20. And I'm about to log off. So I will catch y'all on the weekend. Make sure to wear your mask if you live in New York. Make sure you wear double mask. Make sure you have your Lysol spray, your what is it? Your wipes, your hand wipes, your hand sanitizer, because this Delta variant is crazy. And with 8.4 million people here, shit. Get that shit done. Until then, have a good night.